Shir 20 on the Haggadah Shel Pesach. We are now beginning the fourth step in the creation of Klal Yisrael. The paragraph of Vayotzi'einu, and he took us out, discusses our redemption and the departure from Mitzrayim with chipazon, haste. This process was entirely above the laws of nature and was characterized by a great publicity and the revelation of Devarim Neiram, awesome events. These events were so powerful that any onlooker would have been deeply inspired, witnessing the great revenge and punishment visited upon the Mitzrayim. There is significant stress placed on the fact that the entire redemption was carried out by HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself. This point is made very clearly to show that the objective of these miracles was not merely to achieve a physical freedom. Rather, it was so that we should become the Am Hashem and begin serving Him. It was as if Hashem was declaring, now you are becoming connected to me, and you're becoming my avodim. The Baal Haggadah states, Vayotzi'einu Hashem Mitzrayim, and Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim, emphasizing that Hashem himself performed this act. It was not done through a malach or a saruf, a fiery angel. By redeeming us himself, HaKadosh Baruch Hu demonstrated that we would be connected directly through a special hashgacha pratis, without the intermediaries of malachim that oversee the other ummas olam. The proof that Hashem himself came down is found in Shemois Yud Beis, where it says, "V'avarti be'eretz Mitzrayim, and I will pass through the land of Mitzrayim, on this night striking all the b'chayros." This indicates that Hashem himself brought about the exit through Makas b'chayros. Since this plague was the immediate cause of our departure, the reference to Hashem performing it is a reference to Him making us His nation at that very moment and demonstrating our eternal direct connection to Him without intermediaries. The Haggadah reinforces this by stating, Ani v'loi malach, I and not an angel. The Ramban on Shemois Yud Beis explains that while a malach is a messenger sent to bring plagues, the Sfarim are the messengers that facilitate the actual destruction of the enemy. Normally, there could have been two levels of shlichus. Hashem sending one angel who then directs another. But here, HaKadosh Baruch Hu performed both roles himself. He came down himself and he personally performed the Makas B'charis. Rav Desser, based on the Zohar, explains that the Tumah in Mitzrayim was so powerful that only HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself could overpower it to take Klal Yisrael out. The Baal Haggadah further notes that Hashem said he would personally perform justice against the Mitzrayim without a shliach. He did not even send the Malach Metatron, however you pronounce it, the general messenger through whom Hashem typically acts in this world. He did everything himself directly. The passage ends with Ani Hashem, I am Hashem, signifying that as we became His nation, we received a direct connection to Him without intermediaries, unlike any other nation. Rav Shalom Shadron adds that our ability to leave Mitzrayim was predicated on realizing the reality of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and accepting His Ol Malchus. This is why 4/5 of Klal Yisrael perished during Makas B'chayros. It was not a punishment, but rather they lacked the zchus of connecting themselves to Hashem, which was necessary to go out. As an introduction to the miracles that follow, we see that Hashem revealed himself to Klal Yisrael through Oises Umoisin, signs and wonders. Consider the mashal of a craftsman who carved an image of a horse out of wood so beautifully and professionally that it looked exactly like a real animal. When he took it to the market, to his disappointment, no one would buy it. A wise man explained that people come to the market to buy the wood of craftsmen, not actual horses, and his work was so perfect that people mistook it for a real horse. He advised the craftsman to change the horse to make it clear that it was not real. As soon as he did, everyone rushed to buy it. The nimshal is that the entire world is like a painting of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. As I stated in Brachos, Yud Amid Aleph, Ein Tzur Kelikenu. There is no painter like Hashem. We become so accustomed to the fine details of this world that we forget HaKadosh Baruch Hu is running every aspect of it. The miracles of Yetzias Mitzrayim were the quote-unquote change made to the horse. They were open miracles that made it clear to everyone that nature itself is being run every moment by Hashem. The Ramban famously notes at the end of Parshas Bo that open miracles lead a person to realize that all of nature is in fact a miracle. Rav Chaim Vital explains that the fact that Hashem can change nature proves He is constantly sustaining it, and it's not self-sufficient. For if He had separated from it after creation, He would not be able to change it. Furthermore, the Malbim explains that the Makkos were an expression of Midah Keneged Midah, showing that Hashem knows every human action and reacts accordingly. The Bal Haggadah describes several categories of divine revelation that includes all Makkos that He struck Mitzrayim with. Biyod Chazaka, with a mighty hand, refers to Dever, a category of Dever. The Shabbat Leket and Orchos Chaim cite the Midrash in Tehillim stating that with every Makkah there was a Magefa, there was an epidemic that caused death. The word Yod is proven to refer to Makkos Dever through the verse stating Yad Hashem was on the livestock and caused death. Therefore, by Hashem describing all the Makkos in a general sense as Yod Chazaka, you see that the plague of death came along with every single Makkah. Ubizray Natuya, and with an outstretched arm, refers to Cherev, a sword. This is proven by a pasuk where David Melech sees an angel with an outstretched sword described as Natuya. Dever and Cherev are two categories of judgment described in Shemois Perek Hey pasuk Gimel. Dever is when Hashem attacks the actual health of the sinner until they are awakened and submissive, proving that they are not self-sufficient. And Cherev is where there's an external force comes against a person to show that they must listen to the power stronger than themselves. The Gra adds that 5 of the Makkos were of the Dever type, and 5 of the Makkos were of the Cherev type. The Great Revelation. Continues the Haggadah. The phrase Ubemoira Gadol, and with great terror, was a revelation of the Shekhinah. Hashem could have punished the Mitzrim through sickness without changing nature, as He did with the Plishtim when they took the Aron in the time of Eli. But He chose Moira Gadol, meaning Mara Gadol, with great publicity, to instill fear in all onlookers. The result of all the miracles is an instilled great fear of Hashem. The Haggadah proves this through Moshe's rebuke in Devarim Perek Daled Pasig Lamed Daled, where he asks if any other god has taken a nation out through Maasois, Oisois, Moifsin, and Milchama. The Maasois refers to Paro's testing Hashem's ability to stop the plagues. Oisois are signs like the mata turning into a snake. Moifsin are wondrous changes in nature, like what they saw in the Makkos, and Milchama refers to Hashem fighting for us at Kriyas Yamsuf. All these acts were performed before the eyes of Klal Yisrael to raise their madrega, their spiritual level, and is still Yerushalayim. The mention of Oisos also refers to the Mata of Moshe Rabbeinu. Hashem commanded Moshe to take the staff and perform Oisos, such as turning it into a snake before Paroi and swallowing the staffs of the Chartumim, the other magicians. A Mata is an expression of directed leadership, which is why the Nesiim of every tribe carried one. Chazal described this staff as having been created during Bein Hashmashos on the 6th day of creation. It was engraved with the Shema Mefarish and the 10 Makkos. The Pirkei de Rabbi Eliezer traces its path from Adam HaRishon to Yaakov, then to Yosef, and finally to Yisro, who planted it in the garden where Moshe eventually found it. This staff represents Hashem's predetermined plan to rule creation and His choice of Klal Yisrael as His nation. Moisin, the plague of Dam. Finally, Moisin refers specifically to the plague of Dam. A moifis is a type of revelation where the reason for the divine action is self-apparent. The plague of Dam was clearly Midah Keneged Midah because the Mitzrim used the Nile River to try to destroy the continuity of Klal Yisrael. The river itself became a weapon against them. While the Mitzrim looked at the Nile as a source of livelihood, Hashem showed them that it would instead be their source of death. Have a great night. Thank you very much for listening.